Are sessions available online and in person? If so, which is better? Online v in-person hypnotherapy. So in this video, I'm going to compare online and in-person hypnotherapy sessions. Just like all of these videos, I will be going off my own experience and what I have seen in my own hypnotherapy practice. Of course, I'm unable to talk for every other hypnotherapist out there, and they may have different opinions. So this is going to be from my experience and what I've seen in my practice. Okay, let's get started. How are sessions available? Well, this is an easy one to start off with, and I'm sure you already know the answer to this. Sessions with me are available both online via Zoom and in person in the Parkhouse Therapy Centre in Gorsinan in Swansea. Online v in-person hypnotherapy, which is better? So this is a question that I get a lot, and for good reason. Before I became a hypnotherapist myself, I didn't know that you could have hypnotherapy sessions online. I assumed that you'd need to be in person, and I automatically assumed that would be much better. However, as I've gained some more experience as a hypnotherapist, I now know that both in-person and online sessions have their pros and cons, just like everything in life. So let's compare the two formats. So how does online hypnotherapy compare to in-person sessions? So the easiest way to compare online and in-person sessions is to break them both down into pros and cons. At the end, I will summarize and compare all options. So in-person hypnotherapy, what are the pros? Well, the first pro is that it's a dedicated environment. So you're going to a therapy center, and that can be a nice change of scenery, giving us the chance to separate from our home life, or obviously work life as well. We know the setting will be calm, relaxing, and distraction free. The next pro is that for some people, there's a stronger therapeutic connection. So some people feel that meeting in person helps them to connect more with me, their therapist. And this can help create a stronger sense of connection and rapport. The third pro is that there's clearer communication. So it can be easier for both therapist and client to pick up on subtle body language and non-verbal cues. So what are the cons to in-person hypnotherapy? Well, the obvious first one is time and travel. So you have to factor in extra time and the cost involved for traveling to and from the therapy center. The next con is that there's less flexibility. So appointment times will be less flexible as they will have to work around the schedules of both you and the therapist. And me as the hypnotherapist, I know that I have a lot more flexibility and a lot more options for online hypnotherapy sessions just because of the logistics of being at the therapy center versus being online for those sessions. The third con is the added cost. So due to the need of hiring a therapy room, the extra time and the travel, in-person sessions often have an added cost compared to online hypnotherapy sessions. Okay, so let's look at the pros of online hypnotherapy. So the first pro is convenience. So you can attend the session from your own home or somewhere else if you're traveling, or if you're doing it during the workday, then maybe there's a place within work that is comfortable and you feel able to use for the session. Obviously, if that's all been organized and you're happy to do that, then basically you can do it from wherever you want. As long as it's comfortable and it's quiet enough for you, then you can access the hypnotherapy session online. Now, you can obviously save time and money on travel. This is especially helpful for people with busy schedules or caring responsibilities. The next pro is accessibility. So online sessions make hypnotherapy available to anyone, regardless of their location, including those in rural areas or with mobility challenges. The next pro is comfort. So being in a familiar and secure environment can help you feel more relaxed and open to the process, which has numerous and obvious benefits for hypnotherapy. For example, some people like to lie on their own sofa or bed and find it much easier to calm their mind as a result. The next pro is more flexibility. So we've mentioned this one quickly already, that appointment times will be much more flexible as no travel or therapy room is required. And the final pro we've got here is lower cost. So online sessions will often be a lower cost in comparison to in-person sessions, obviously because no travel or therapy room is required. So let's look at the cons of online hypnotherapy. So the first con is the potential for distractions. So your home environment may have more potential for interruptions, such as pets, family, or unexpected noise. The next con is technical issues. So while rare, a poor internet connection or other technical issues could potentially interrupt the flow of the session. Summary: which is better, online or in-person hypnotherapy sessions? So as I begin to summarize which is better, I want to emphasize the most important point. The therapeutic outcome is exactly the same regardless of whether sessions are carried out online or in person. I have seen no difference in outcome between the two. Sessions are run in exactly the same way regardless of the format, and that's because the effectiveness of hypnotherapy is not dependent on physical proximity, as the process is about working with your mind. So ultimately, I cannot tell you which format is best for you. The choice between online and in-person sessions comes down to your personal preference and what you feel would be most comfortable and convenient for you. I know this probably isn't the definitive answer that you were hoping for, but that's because it's the truth. Just like many things, what works for one person won't work for someone else. So you need to think about your situation and think about what you would find the best for you. Next question: where are the in-person sessions? So the in-person hypnotherapy sessions with me are held at Park House Therapy Centre in Gorsinan, Swansea. How long do online and in-person hypnotherapy sessions last? So both online and in-person hypnotherapy sessions with me last for 50 minutes, 50. Ready to take the next step? Are you ready to explore how hypnotherapy can help you to achieve lasting change? Click the link in the description to book your free, no obligation initial consultation with me today. Not quite ready for a consultation? Subscribe to my newsletter and receive free hypnotherapy soundtracks to ease anxiety and help you sleep at night. You'll also receive my monthly newsletter containing lots of free tips and useful information, and of course no spam ever. So click the link in the description to sign up and get your free soundtracks. Still have questions about hypnotherapy or my services? Find answers to common questions on my FAQ page. Find the link for that in the description as well. So there we go. That's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you in another one very, very soon. Thank you and goodbye.